Hello and welcome back to episode 6 of the Burgess Town FC Hillians Talk podcast with me, Jack, and today we're not joined by Colin Bowman, who's usually my co-host for the Burgess podcast, but we are, in fact, joined by Lynden Humphrey, who is not just behind the microphone today, he's going to be joining me on guest hosting duties. So, Lynden.
You've given me a microphone. You've massively downgraded.
We have given you a microphone. We are not just me on my own talking. You are trying to fill Cobo's shoes.
Big shoes to fill.
I'll do my best. Big shoes to fill. And I suppose, a sort of good place to start with the podcast, I suppose, for this episode anyway, is, I'm sure a lot of people listening to this know you, know who you are, know your, affinity with Burgess Hill and sort of what everything's about. But perhaps some people don't know. Perhaps some people do think you're just a hired help of a producer.
Shadowy figure in the background.
Exactly. So just, I suppose, to start us off, just introduce a little bit about yourself, if you like, but more probably about your, Burgess Hill, why Burgess Hill, what's led you to Burgess Hill to now, I suppose. Yeah. Anything you like?
Well, yeah, start off is, in terms of like what led me to Burgess Hill, it's pretty easy. I've lived here all my life.
That'll do it, yeah.
So 30 years young. There you go. Following Cobo already, getting the age in.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, no, 30 years I've lived in Burgess Hill. So I've always been a fan of Burgess Hill and non-league football. Although non-league football came a little bit later, I was a bit of a Premier League snob for a while. But I've been following Burgess Hill for... I was thinking about this earlier. It's definitely over 10 years because I remember when we won the league 14-15.
Right, that's longer than me.
And I remember because they brought out like a commemorative black shirt. And this was back in the day when I could fit in football shirts. So I had that one and I wore it to death. It had like the gold writing, champions and all that kind of stuff. So I remember that. I don't really remember many games before that though. So I'm wondering if I just jumped on the bandwagon because we were having a good season and then won it. And then I've been a fan ever since. But I've got family ties to the club. Like my granddad's been coming down here for like 30 plus years. He was in the programme the other day as like a really long supporter. Obviously my brother Martin plays for the club. Ryan Stewards. My whole family come down to watch my old man, my other brothers. So yeah, at one point I literally lived just over the road in Joel Gardens. So it was easy for us to sort of stagger over here and stagger back after a few beers. So yeah, I've been a lifelong-ish fan of the club. And then when I sort of launched my photography business a couple of years ago, I sort of got talking to Chris Neal, as my wise Jedi Master, as I call him. We had a few conversations about photography, and he sort of mentioned that he was looking to step away and actually wanted to enjoy some games without looking through a lens, because it is difficult to sort of watch the games.
I can imagine, yeah.
Yeah, so we sort of floated the idea of me taking over, and that was it, really. That was last season. So I've finished one season now as a photographer. I'm happy to say I'm staying on for another year.
Nice. Re-signed.
Don't kick me out. Yeah, re-signed. Yeah. I didn't see my retainment post, but I'm sure it's coming, right?
Yeah.
Big news.
Yeah. No, I'm sure I'll get on
Front page
that.
spread.
Yeah. Absolutely. Otherwise, we should go with trialist for now.
Yeah, trialist. Yeah.
Trialist photographer. Yeah. Everyone.
But yeah, so that's now I do photography for the club as well as a few other media bits. And I've been obviously producing this podcast since its inception, which I really enjoyed doing. And now I finally in front of the mic and I have some sort of semblance of power. But yeah, that's a quick whistle stop tour.
Excellent. Well, there we go. Yeah. So I mean, you're not just a hired help after all. You are actually more probably Burgess Hill than I am. So,
well, maybe, but I'm still relying heavily on the football for the football knowledge. Seeing as this is the man who confidently said with chess last night that Chelsea were going to get nowhere near the ball for 90 minutes and PSG were going to wipe the floor with them.
Yeah, this is true.
I was very wrong, so I apologise to the Chelsea fans.
I was also very wrong. That was a shame.
Maybe we shouldn't be doing a footballing podcast.
True, but this is non-league, and we can pretend we know what we're talking about on this instead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which we still don't, but we can just pretend.
Fake it till we make it.
But yeah, I suppose onto the football then.
Yes.
It's still only middle of July, so there's not a hell of a lot of football that's taken place between now and the last podcast. But there has been 2 games. There has been 2 pre-season games. We are back. The football's back. Burgess Hill are back.
But sort of.
We are back with a loss to Haywards Heath. We'll come on to that. We probably will touch on that, unfortunately. But we will probably start with the first game of pre-season. Now, I know you weren't there, so I'll probably
have to lean on you for this one.
That's fine. I suppose from your point of view, anything you want to sort of ask about the Stenning game? I'll do a bit of a recap just very briefly about how it was and what happened. But I suppose you weren't there. I know you sort of follow the updates, and I bore everyone with what happened, so you probably know already. But just in terms from your point of view, I suppose to ask me anything about the game, how do we look, etc.
Well, yeah, I am interested in. I guess when we move on to the Haywards Heath game, it'll be a bit easier to do a comparison.
Sure, yeah.
So obviously, the Stenning game we won comfortably.
Yeah.
I assume we played with quite a lot of confidence and we looked like a team. I mean, forgive me, Stenning are league below us now? 2 leagues
Two leagues below us
now. So fair enough.
Same league as Hayward Heath.
Oh yeah, good point. Yeah. Because they've sort of done a little swapsy of players in this transfer window, haven't they? So
Yes.
There's been a few movements
Managers,
there.
players, everyone just...
Everyone, yeah.
Everyone, yeah.
So, I mean, what did you think? Like, obviously, I said we'll come on to the Hayward Heath game, but were we more confident, more organised, or?
Well, for the Stenning game, I was very pleasantly surprised, to be honest, because first game of pre-season, and no one's played competitive football for for our case 2 months, whatever it was. Stenning had played one game before that, and they'd beaten Broadbridge Heath, who as we know were in our league last season, still there, and a pretty decent,
good side,
pretty decent side really. And they beat them for now. It's only pre-season, so we don't really look too much into the results. Thank God for that. But so they were slightly fitter than us, just in terms because they played a game more. This was our first game. They'd beaten Broadbridge Chief, so that's a good start. So I was a bit wary about how we might look. They're going to have the legs on us just purely because they played a game more. But to be honest, we looked quite sharp. We looked quite good. You wouldn't have known that this was our first game back for the last however long, 2 months, 2.5 months. We looked quite good. To be honest, we really controlled the whole of the game. I suppose, and this is no criticism of Stenning at all, because they are 2 leagues below, and they've got a whole new management team. They've got a whole new team. They're trying to gel together. So it's not anything to
read too much into.
Exactly, but. It was almost as if they were very happy to let us have the ball the whole game, and they'll just try and force an error or try and play on the break a little bit. But we know that's not really the best idea against us, because we like to control the game.
Yeah.
We like to dominate the ball. We like to just hog the ball basically and let us play. And they sort of did that a little bit. So I thought they probably did play into our hand, which helped us. But on the whole, I mean, for those that don't know, it was a 5-0 win for us. And it was fairly comfortable. I have to be honest. It was a very good performance, I thought. I come away from the game thinking that it was a really strong performance. There was obviously a few debuts in there from some of our new signings. Josh Spinks actually scored the first goal, which is only the second goal I've ever seen him score for Burgess Hill in about 100 games. So that was a surprising first goal score of the year. Jaden Perez returns as well, same as Josh, both coming back to the club. He looked good, he looked sharp. I think there was about 18, 19 players that played. But yeah, I mean, like I say, for the first game, for the first time that we'd seen the boys since that game in Sittingbourne, I thought it was quite a good start. I thought people looked sharp. We were creating lots of chances. We were quite clinical, which we'll come on to Saturday wasn't so clinical, but we were quite clinical against Stenning. And to be honest, if it wasn't for Mitch Bromwich, another former Hayward Chief, shout out to him.
He's unbelievable.
He made a couple of outstanding saves in the Stenning goal, and it sounds silly because he conceded 5 goals, but without him, it would have been a lot more.
Double digits?
It would have been pushing it. It would have been pushing it. So yeah, from a Stenning point of view, from the game point of view, it was quite a good start. It was a nice welcome back. And it was all sort of remained very positive. It was
good.
Business as usual. I think it was quite a lot of people were expecting, and again, no disrespect at all to Stenning. I'm sure they'll have a very good season. Once they've got everyone sort of up to speed, whole new squad, whole new management. We know it's difficult.
How did they get on in there? So the game they played before they played us. What was the result in that one?
So they beat Broadbridge Chief 2-1.
Oh, you said you did. Sorry. Yeah,
but it was 2-1.
So a bit of a closer game then.
Yeah, and I mean Broadbridge Chief will be a good side. I do think Stenning will still be up there for their league season. They'll be one of the favourites, along with Hayward Heath, who probably are the favourite, which is understandable. So, yeah. But Stenning, I think, will be up there again. So still, they're going to be a team that wins a lot of games this season, comparative league obviously, but they're going to be a team that wins a lot more than they lose. So for them to lose 5-0 probably won't happen. Again, I know it's pre-season, doesn't matter, but it's not going to happen to that team very often. No. So I think to beat a team like that is like I say, from Tuesday, it was a good start. I thought it was a really confident. We looked sharp. We looked like we had a good couple of weeks training to lead up to it, and it was sort of all heading in the right direction.
It's Stenning 3G pitch, isn't
yes.
it? So is that like we've obviously put in a dominant performance there. Sign of things to come, maybe the 3G game's going to suit us in the way we play football.
Yeah, it's a good point, because we've as fans have said it for quite a few. Well, probably the last year or two now, we've always seemed to be a little bit better on 3G anyway. And again, it makes sense because it's all down to our play style. We like to get on the ball. We like to dominate the ball. We like to play short, passes. We don't like to go
move it around at speed, and
we don't like to go long, etc. It's very suited for a nice, flat surface with no grass bobbles and no, all the rest of it. So we tend to find that we do quite well on 3G. So yeah, Stenning. Well, I mean, we won in the league last season. It's a really nice pitch at Stenning. It's one of the better 3G pitches.
I'm just thinking about
it definitely helped us, I think.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like other 3G games I watched last season. So obviously I went Herne Bay away, that's 3G.
Yeah,
We
Three
won
Bridges.
there. Three Bridges away, we won there. So yeah, good sign of things to come then.
Others as well, but yeah.
So not obviously saying it's all down to the pitch.
No, but yeah, it certainly does help. If that was on a bouncy, hard grass pitch in the middle of July when it's been
those summer pitches.
sunny for the last month, which is
I
a
remember
rarity.
back in my playing days. I'm going back a long way now, but those rock hard summer pitches are almost as unpredictable as the sodden waterlogged pitches where the ball stops dead in its tracks when you're trying to run onto it. Not that I did any running, but
do you know what else is unpredictable as well? Actually,
go on.
A Martin box penalty.
Oh, we're going to go right there.
Well,
I just saw him in Tesco and said we wouldn't slate him too hard.
Well, I just thought. For some reason, that's the first thing that comes to my mind when you said unpredictable.
Well, should we move on to the Haverteeth game and we'll start there then, shall we?
Well, we can.
He missed another penalty.
Yeah, Martin, come on.
As I said, I've just this second seen him and said, I'm just going to record a podcast with Jack, and he was like, please. And I was like, I'm sure we'll mention it, but we won't go too hard.
Yeah,
I lied, obviously.
No, I'm unfortunately, Martin.
So he said he changed his mind.
Well,
changed his mind last minute.
Well, there you go. That's from the horse's mouth, apparently. So you haven't
direct
really got.
Quote. Yeah.
There you go. Direct quote.
Martin
Sources confirm. No, you are making it quite difficult, Martin, to be on penalties next year. I'll be totally honest with you, mate. But you're still better than me, so take that as confidence. I don't know who will be on penalties. Maybe
he's got
Martin.
He's persevere. It's pre-season. Persevere.
Maybe Martin, but like I say, he is making it quite difficult. He's not,
But it is only 2 out of how many hundreds is he probably taking?
Yeah, and those genuinely are the only 2 I've ever seen him miss.
2 in a row.
No, it is. And this one was closer than Sittingbourne. Hey.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
This was. I thought it was in. We were the other side of the goal, so everything looked in from our side. But
so I couldn't actually see it from where I was because of the nature of the lens I use for penalties. It's quite difficult. For a penalty shootout, it's better because I've got more time to move. But for a penalty given in the game, I can't really move from where I am. So I have a choice. I can either take photos of the penalty kicker. That sounds weird. Penalty kicker, is that right?
Taker,
yeah, that's better. Yep.
Kicker as well, yeah.
Or I can take photos of the goal and the goalkeeper.
Yeah, okay.
So I tend to err on the side of taking the photos of the taker because it's Burgess Hill.
Sure.
So, but I can't really move that quick either, like from them striking it to the goal. So I don't actually know if it goes in. I base it on the reaction of the player,
the crowd. Sure.
Unfortunately, this one I did hear it hit the advertising boards, so I did kind of assume it might have just gone wide.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, bro.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. That is, I think, how we'll start the Haverteeth debrief.
Yeah, because that was a number of missed
penalties.
chances, wasn't it?
No, it was a very strange game, I thought. Really strange game. First and foremost, I'm sure not many Haverteeth people are probably listening to this, but first and foremost, you definitely deserved the win. I thought you were...
Yeah, 100%, I think they did as well. It's hard to say, but...
Yeah, better team, I'll struggle to say, purely because I think first half...
We did gift them 2 of their goals.
Yeah, and 8 times out of 10, we won't miss that many chances in one game again.
Yeah, I mean, Noah spoon one over the bar, didn't he, from just over 12
he did,
yards
bless
out.
him. And there was others as well. There was at least 4 or 5 good chances that you'd probably back to score, with a missed penalty, with a goal disallowed as well for offside.
Was that offside?
I don't know.
To
be totally honest with you, I don't know.
Yeah, again, from where I am, I can't tell. I'm not down the line, so
No.
I've heard a few people. It's 6 or 1, half a dozen the other.
Yeah.
I've heard some people say it was.
It's
Some people
non-league.
said it wasn't.
It's non-league friendly. It might be way onside. It might have been well offside.
Yeah, I mean, cut the linesman some slack wearing all black in that heat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he did a better job of keeping up a play than I would have done. So.
Volunteering probably as well.
Probably, yeah.
On a Saturday at that heat.
Yeah.
So yeah, fair enough.
I got a great photo of Martin's despair though.
Yes,
of that goal being
well,
ruled
yeah,
out.
it was more. I think that was the sarcastic irony on his face that he'd scored
Just
and he
wasn't
still
going his way that day.
No, it still wasn't his day. But no, first half wise, I mean, at the end of the first half, it was 1-1. And
what a goal, by the way!
Oh yeah,
absolute screamer from Wellfell.
Absolute screamer. Like
I watched it back. I've got some footage from one of my guys in the stand. It just gets better every time you watch it.
Was it that Lee guy that does, or was this one of your guys?
One of my guys, yeah.
Okay.
So we my subtle plug. My business looks after photography for Haverteeth and Burgess Hill, as well as we do some video stuff at Haverteeth. So we were filming the game yesterday, and so I've seen the footage, and that goal just looks better and better every time you see it. I'll get hold of the footage, mainly just for Whelps, so we can repost it on social media.
Yeah, it's probably the only thing I want to see from that game, I'll be honest.
Yeah, but, I mean...
that goal was unbelievable.
Screamer. And at 1-1, like the game... they went ahead early from a bit of a haphazard little error at the back Rocco, who I'm going to defend because Goalkeepers Union back in the day I was a goalkeeper. I don't know if you knew that. But
Union stick together.
I will stick together. So yeah, he had a bit of a rocky debut, pun intended.
No, how many times are we going to do that?
Bring
this
Cobo
season?
back. Bring Cobo back.
I can. I mean, I was going to say I can try and do that on the Twitter, but how can I do that positively?
Yeah.
Rocco's a rock. Yeah. Anyway,
we'll find it. Yeah, we'll
sure
work it out. But yeah, he had a bit of a nervy debut, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Bless him. I mean, we know he's a quality keeper. Like we've seen him play.
Yeah.
Like we've seen him at Sittingbourne. We've seen him in a number of other teams. Like we know he's a great keeper. Obviously, Martin's played with him, as Martin touched on his episode of the podcast a while ago. They played together, so we know he's a great keeper. So we can chalk this up. Just pre-season, no one cares.
Yeah. He wasn't at Stenning either. Rocco.
No, he wasn't.
So this was his first game since Sittingbourne. Ironically, when he was playing for Sittingbourne.
Yeah.
So he was perhaps a little bit rusty than the others.
Yeah.
Obviously, completely new team. Doesn't really, apart from Martin, but he's further forward now. Not really in defence. He doesn't know anyone probably. Doesn't know anyone in play.
Yeah. I'm more like there was a few fans and rightly so. They were entitled to their opinions. They were a little bit unconvinced. But yeah, I think it's early doors. I think, yeah, cut him some slack. And I thought there was many positives. His distribution was great. He was picking passes out left, right, and centre.
I think that's a big reason as to why Jay wanted him as well, and Gary. But I think especially Jay. I think Jay's sort of known of him for a little while, and I think he's sort of well known for very good distribution. Which again, I keep harping on about it, but it's how we play. We like to, keep the ball. We like to play out, and I think that it's not. It didn't let Slav down because Slav was very good. But I think if you had to, sit down and point at a weakness for Slav, it probably was his distribution or with the ball at his feet. We did concede probably 4 or 5 goals from a misplaced pass or some sort of error towards the back, which then led to a goal, which obviously is not ideal. So I think going up a league, you do have to sort of factor these things in, and I think Rocco will be. I think Rocco. I'm sure you agree as well, but I think Rocco will be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I think I've grown to the team.
The fans. Nobody wants to see an error leading to a goal, but it was just. I think it was 90 seconds or something into his debut, whatever silly it was. It was just a nervy new team. He'll be absolutely fine. I think he made some good saves as well. To be fair,
he did his one-on-one he commanded his box quite well. He shut down the one-on-ones quite early.
It's like life of a keeper, isn't it? Really. Nui's talking about the 1 or 2 errors that he might have made during 90 minutes of a pre-season game.
Yeah.
It's always the way.
It's always the for a keeper. It's all the mistakes that define you. Like you can make as many wonder saves as you want, but if you let in a couple of howlers, unfortunately they're going to stick in the minds more of the fans.
Exactly. There was certainly some other, less convincing performances. Again, it's only pre-season. No one's getting carried away. Everyone's very calm. Everyone's still very positive. But it was, especially second half. I thought I'm not really sure what happened second half.
They just looked like they wanted it more from my perspective. They came out firing. They we looked a little bit, dare I say it, disorganised. I don't know if I want to. Sorry, I moved away from the mic there, but yeah, maybe a little bit disorganised.
I do have a couple of things that I'll probably touch on to back your point there, I think. Number one that springs to mind is that for one reason or another, I think we only had one central defender in the whole squad for the whole game, and that was Marcus Allen. So first half he was alongside Ryan Worrell, who has played a lot of centre back for us. So it's he's all right. If you want to call him a centre back, fine, but he's about 5'4", so I'm not going to call him a centre back. He'll hate me for saying that and probably message me. But he's very, very good, Ryan. But he's not a conventional centre back. He's a midfielder. And then second half, Marcus came off at half time, so then we had no central defenders, which is fine. I think Josh Spinks was away abroad.
All right for some.
Yeah, his 10th.
I'm sure there's some sort of fine for missing a pre-season game.
Almost certainly. I think that's his 10th holiday of the summer. But Josh is Josh can do what he wants. It's fine. We'll just watch you play football. So yeah, and obviously I think. I'm not sure if we'll touch on it here or now or not, but I think everyone knows that we're probably going to get another central defender. It's probably, now that Logan Dobbs has gone back to Gillingham, there's still perhaps some rumours around that, everyone's hoping to get him back. Obviously, nobody knows what's going to happen there. He's Gillingham's player. They can do what they like with him.
Yeah.
But he's left and that gap hasn't been filled yet. So I think it's just logical to assume and suggest that we probably do need at least one more alongside Josh and Marcus, and obviously Ryan can play there and etc. But that was, just going back to your point, probably one reason why we looked a bit disorganised, because when you play against a Haywards Heath team, no matter what league they're in, who are organised, know what they're playing, and we haven't got any central defenders.
Yeah,
it's not. You know, I'm sure it wasn't the ideal scenario.
And then Hayward Heath had a good side out as well. Like they made a couple of signings over the summer.
Hayward Heath have got a good team. It's like we said, Hayward Heath should on paper be the favourites for their league. Whether that happens, they were last year, and obviously it didn't go their way. So obviously that title brings pressure, but I think they do have a really good squad. It's not as if we were playing some just haphazard put together team. It's a very good squad, very good manager. He's won the league before.
He knows what he's doing.
And like I say, if we were disorganised, probably you could say they were very organised then, and that sometimes can just counteract.
Yeah, I thought they played especially in that second half. They looked like they wanted it more. They played good football. Undone us at the back a little bit. Obviously, it was another error or two that led to a goal. But yeah, they just looked like they wanted it more, and we just never really got. Whereas in the first half at 1-1, we looked in the game, and it could have gone 100%. Either way. That second half, I didn't see the result going any other way. No, and I suppose they just got a better foothold.
And I suppose
took the game to us.
That is probably the one thing that the sort of wider fans who were there at the game will say, and was like in the second half we didn't really look like getting in front, or when we fell behind, getting back into the game. And again, pre-season always happens. You start with 11 players, and then come half time, I think we made 5 changes, or maybe 6 at half time, etc. And I think some of those that went off were Kieran, Brannan, possibly even Ryan. Maybe Harry Lawson, but a lot Whelpdale, I think, as well. Quite. I was saying this after the game to somebody. You'd never take those players off at half time, or even all off, during one game at all. So and obviously everyone knows. I keep going on about it's only pre-season, but that wouldn't happen ordinarily. That's not something.
And I think that maybe there was a brilliant moment that made me chuckle, which I think Hamish got the ball down the right hand side. You know what I'm going to say already, and he's gone to look up to play a ball, and he's like, who was it he shouted at? Was it Joe? No, it wasn't Joe. Who was it? Can't remember. He was shouting like, "Why you're supposed to be right?" Like, he looked up and just no one was there up the right hand side for him, and he looked over and it wasn't Joe. Who was it?
Tom or Ben? Chile or Pope?
It might have been Tom. No, was it? Yeah, it might have been Tom, actually. He was just like, you're supposed to be right wing. And it's like, no one was there. He was fuming. And when then I actually looked up from my lens and sort of looked at what he was saying, it did seem to see like we had a lot of players over the left-hand side.
Yeah.
And he had no one up the channel for him to pass to. And that did make me chuckle. And I thought, pre-season.
No, exactly, pre-season. But
it's fine. It's fine.
No, it is fine. And something I'll say as well that I was thinking about was that last season, when we had pre-season, we lost 3-0 to Hassocks in the Ann John, and we didn't really lay a glove on Hassocks that day. Everyone was coming away thinking, blimey, what's happened here? We've lost to Hassocks, we lost 3-0, we convincingly lost to Hassocks. And obviously, now we fast forward 12 months, Hassocks went and romped that league. We obviously got promoted in our league. So it all turned out that Hassocks were very good, and it turned out that us losing to Hassocks didn't mean that we weren't very good either. We were both very good. So maybe this will be something similar. Maybe Hayward Heath will romp their league, and we'll be just fine after all, comfortably mid-table, maybe even higher if we get them to a great start. Who knows? But certainly nothing to worry about or panic over. I'm sure me and you are. It
was a nice day in the town over in the sun.
It was. The weather was lovely.
I was so burnt.
Weather watch, everyone. It was lovely.
Yeah, it was. Oh yeah, absolutely. Cobo would be proud getting the
weather. Weather watch. Could have been worse. We could have been watching that in the rain. So that's what I was. Again, I think I said that on the day. So, weather watch.
Yeah, we take the positives away.
I appreciate I'm scraping the barrel here for positives. We're talking about weather now. But
we could just talk about Whelpdale's goal again.
Yeah, that was positive. Although, and then coming on to something else, which is definitely positive, sort of away from the Hayward Heath game, although it's probably can still fit it in there somehow. But obviously, only 2 games now so far in, but we know a large amount of the squad. We know pretty much 95% of everyone who's going to be here and everyone who's going to not and whatever. Sort of players that we can watch out for this season. Perhaps players who we think that maybe new signings, maybe people who we know from last year that did well. Maybe they'll really kick on in the Prem. Maybe youngsters coming through, that sort of thing. Ones to watch. Now, immediately I'll start off, and because I appreciate you weren't at Stenning.
I already know what you were going to say, though.
Oh yeah, and everybody that knows me knows I'm talking about this man. So we had Gary Mansell on the podcast, however long ago it was.
Episode 3?
Yeah, I was going to say 3. We'll go with 3. Yeah. And I think one of the questions that we asked him about was obviously his connection with the under-18s and how good all of those boys that have come through are, and perhaps who's the next name to watch out for. And without a minute of hesitation, without a slight pause to think, he immediately name-dropped Jake King and and I'm not going to quote him, but he said something along the lines of he has the potential to be the absolute best that's come through our youth system so far, which we're all sort of very excited about because wow, that's
it is certainly perked up at that.
That was and to be fair, because obviously that podcast was with Colin, and Colin knows a little bit about Jake King because he follows the under-18s a little bit more religiously, which is fantastic. So he already knew a little bit about him, and he's been saying very positive things about him. So that was good. And obviously we rock up to Stenning for the pre-season game, and Jake King's involved in the squad. Fantastic. Give the under-18s a chance if you're old enough, you're good enough, old enough, whatever the phrase is, one of the two. But then I think he come on at half time or perhaps during the second half, and obviously, we won 5-0, like I mentioned, but he ends up scoring 2 goals, and he looks very, very good. One of his goals was not quite a whelp screamer, but it was on the screamer scale. It was maybe a rung or 2 just slightly below, but it was still
like a solid 7.
Yeah, it was still a very good strike, very good. And he just he looked sharp, looked really good. I'm a bit confused where he plays. He basically plays everywhere. Like
Markable player, that
from a goal kick, he'll be quite deep, like almost just in front of the centre-backs. But then when we're attacking, he'll basically be the furthest player forward and be like a striker. It's
a bit Harry Kane-esque. Like Harry Kane drops deep.
I mean, if we want to compare Jake King to Harry Kane, that's fine. I'm sure that works.
I'm just trying to fake football knowledge.
No, it's fine. But even against Hayward Chiefs, because he played the second half of that game, and we still couldn't really work out where he was playing. He might just be the luxury player of they just go, you're playing, just go and get on the ball.
Where do you want me, coach? On the pitch.
Create something, defend a bit,
yeah,
attack a bit. You just
do some football, mate.
Work it out yourself. But so I'd love to say, oh yeah, Jake King striker, Jake King midfielder. I think he's a midfielder, maybe an attacking midfielder. But yeah, anyway, he's definitely my first one to watch for this season. Whether obviously the Isthmian Prem is a big step up, I think, in terms of youth level from people that haven't played men's football before coming into the Prem. That is quite a daunting prospect, to be honest. So whether we see him in the first team, in matchday squads moving forward, who knows? He's certainly started really well. Perhaps there might be a loan to an Isthmian South, or maybe even a county league team like a Stenning, like a Haywards, like a Hassocks. Well, not Hassocks, they've just gone up. But like a similar local team to that. Could be the way, similar to what Brewer's done, Noah's done, etc. But anyone that springs to mind for you straight away? Perhaps not a youngster, but perhaps not. Perhaps somebody who you think could be one to watch this season. Look back at this 9 months and go, I told you he was going to be brilliant this year.
Yeah, I mean, again, like going back to the goalkeepers union, I am interested. Like whenever a new goalkeeper comes on the scene, I'm always interested to see how they're going to develop. So I am interested to see how Rocco does for us. I think I think us losing Slav, like we all didn't want to see that. Like Slav was great for us.
100%.
Big shoes to fill, big gloves to fill. Sorry, but
big gloves.
I've seen Rocco play before. I've seen him play for Sittingbourne. I've seen him play for other teams. I think he is a great keeper, and I think he will do well for us. He just needs that time to settle.
Absolutely.
So I'm looking forward to seeing how he progresses.
Yeah.
Brewer as well. I mean, I picked Brewer out early days from when I went to watch him at an under-18
you
game.
were basically the founder of Alex Brewer fan club.
I was, I'm founder, chairman, treasurer.
Yeah.
That was such a random game. Like I don't know why I was there. Was I doing photography for the club at this point? I can't actually remember. I don't think so. I think it might have been the season before, but I went to a random under-18 game. It was pissing it down with rain. I was there with one of my other brothers who I've not mentioned. That's not Martin or Ryan. Another brother.
Another one?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so many of us. And it was a Tuesday night or Thursday night, I think the under-18s played.
Yes,
and I remember saying, I don't know who this kid is, but he's just scored an absolute wonder goal. And then he's like 10 minutes later scored another one. This number 9's unbelievable. Like, I love him. And then I later found out it was Alex Brewer. So I mean, I've been following his journey ever since, and I thought I'm looking forward to again seeing how he does. I'm sure he'll feature in the side a bit more this year, and I'm interested to see how he's going to do against the sort of that higher Prem opposition.
For sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how he does.
No, I'm also very much looking forward to seeing how Alex Brewer does. I think he might have a slight knock or an injury at the moment, which isn't ideal.
He was there at Hayward Heath.
He was there at Stenning as well, I can confirm. But he didn't play in that game either. But so that would lead me to suggest that he's probably got a slight niggle, a slight knock, an injury perhaps, etc. I know Jay Beckford has.
I was about to say actually on that note, I'm a fan of Jay Betford. I think I like the way he plays football. I like the way he commands the ball. So again, I'm looking forward. He was there at Hayward Heath, not playing. I think he said he had a little bit of a knock.
Yeah, he
to worry
definitely
about,
does
though.
have a little knock.
So he should be hopefully back in time to start the season. But again, looking I feel like he didn't get as much game time as he may would have liked last season.
Yeah.
Obviously he joined a little bit later on, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing him on the pitch a bit more because I really like the way he plays.
And I also think that Jay Beckford could be one of those type of players where, and I'm sort of be careful how I word this, but he's one of those players that will like elevate his game to the level of competition that he's playing against, sort of thing.
I know what you mean.
And I sort of use the Sittingbourne playoff final as an example. I think we can all say that that's the best game that we've seen Jay Beckford play for us. Was the against the in the most high pressure situation against one of the best teams in Sittingbourne, and I thought he was one of the best players, if not the best player. Arguably man of the match. He went to Logan, but probably second was him.
I can definitely agree as someone who was definitely there for our most important game of the season last year. Sorry.
No, it's
sorry.
fine.
I can't even remember. I was at a wedding, I think.
I wasn't going to mention it.
No, but, I'm sorry. But yeah, no, I think I heard he was quality in that game.
I can
what I've seen in the highlights,
yes, he was not. I wouldn't say surprisingly quality because that would be doing him a disservice. But it was certainly a pleasant showing from the man. It was definitely his best performance, and we were,
although we can't be too nice about him because when I asked him about coming on the podcast, he said, "What podcast?"
Yeah,
which is like a knife in the back.
That is an immediate. If missing a game through Portugal holidays, Josh Spinks is a fine, then not knowing what the podcast is a serious fine.
Yeah, so Jay, if you're now listening to this, now I've told you about it.
Yeah.
And I asked him to come on, and he said he was up for it. So you now definitely have to come on and apologise to all the avid fans.
There you go. Jay Beckford, next guest on the podcast, confirmed.
Well, amazing. Confirmed-ish.
Next tweet. Jay Beckford's decided to leave the club. No, he's not. He's not leaving the club. We're forcing him to come on the podcast. He wants to leave, so he doesn't want to come on the podcast. But yeah. Alex Brewer, Jay Beckford, a lot of exciting youngsters,
Just exciting times at the Hill.
Attacking. It is very exciting times at the Hill.
I mean, and saying that, we're sitting in the clubhouse now, and we've had a quick look out the window at the progression of the 3G pitch installation, and that seems to be coming on very nicely. I mean, obviously a few other little bits going around in the club. We won't spoil too many surprises.
But it's not just the 3G.
It's not just a hole in the ground anymore.
No.
It's starting to take shape. Something that vaguely resembles a pitch is forming. Yeah, it's looking really exciting. I mean, I've been sending the drone up every week, so when it's finished, you'll get a nice little montage from me of week by week progression from the sky.
That will actually
coming out.
That will look really cool.
Yeah, I'm looking
when it's all set up and done and it's all edited. That will nice.
That'll be on. I'll put that on the YouTube and on the website and stuff. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, it's progressing nicely, and as we sort of touched on earlier, I think 3G is gonna. I know there's some fans, my old man being one of them, who are very against 3G pitches. I understand it. I do understand that grass is best and football should be played on grass. Sort of mantra. I get it. I do, but I think at this level, 3G is, I say it with chest, borderline and necessity.
Yeah.
Just purely from a standpoint of getting games played.
Mm-hmm.
Revenue wise, getting games played so you don't have like fixture crunches when you end up playing like 8 fixtures in 1 month. Straining your team. Luckily, our squad depth helps us massively in that regard, and massively helped us last season. I think it was a key to our success, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That our squad depth, our under-18 pathway, was huge for us. So the actual crunch of fixtures, when we did have a few, wasn't too much of a hindrance. Gary and Jay managed it very well. But I think, it's going to hopefully stop that. It should, it will stop that.
Yeah.
Revenue from the fact that we can hire it out and the clubhouse will be open. I mean, the bar's going to be open 7 days a week, guys. Like, what more do you need?
What more do you need?
Spoiler alert, by the way, if that wasn't public.
Well, spoiler. Does everyone at the club know it's going to be open 7 days a week? Or
they do now.
They do now.
I think that's the plan. I could be wrong. Don't hold that against me. But it's definitely going to be open more.
Yeah, it makes sense as well.
It's definitely going to be open more. So, I mean, what more reasons do you need?
Exactly. Like revenue aside, it's then going to make sure that everyone trains here as well. Because obviously people might not know, and because probably people haven't thought about it, why would you? But Burgess Hill Football Club, the men's team, don't train here.
No,
they train, I believe, at
St Paul's.
At St Paul's.
I went there. I went to a training session last week or the week before.
And I think they used to train at the Burgess Hill Academy or Oakmeads.
Which I think whatever's available.
But I think now they're doing St Paul's. But obviously, when this is done, which is hopefully in the next month and a half, sort of rough time scale, that everyone will be able to train here. There'll be no
proper HQ.
And just sort of think about the costs that we're obviously paying a fee or a per day or per hire, whatever it is, to Oakmeads or to St Paul's or whoever it is we're training at for let's say the whole year, the whole season. How much money are we going to be saving that we don't have to pay? Just for example, those guys, we don't have to use their pitch because we've got our own pitch here.
Yeah. So it's money saved going out the door, and then money coming in the door when you think about the commercial opportunities for not only new sponsorship around, because I'm sure we'll have more space and more sponsorship, but also the fact that we can hire it out for clubs, schools, five-a-sides, whatever, however we want to run it. So yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I do get it. I do get the grass thing. I'm not slating anyone who thinks it's fine. No. Absolutely entitled to your opinions, but I'm also personally a fan of 3G.
No, exactly. I'm also, to be honest, a big fan of grass, and in an ideal world, I would not have a 3G anywhere. I would play on grass, but
heresy.
Exactly. I do agree with what you said, that it's becoming a necessity, especially I would say as well, as if, and I've not done any sort of nerdy research on this, but I would go as far to suggest that you've got a better chance of getting promoted should you have a 3G pitch. I think those teams, more often than not, the teams that have a 3G are more likely to finish towards the top end of the table. Yeah. Just from like Ramsgate, Chichester, for example, Three Bridges obviously got in the playoffs the other year. All throughout the leagues, whatever level you sort of look at, I think the teams that have a 3G tend to finish towards the top end of the table. Whether that's a link or not, whether I've just made that up, I'm not too sure, but it makes sense to me.
I think it's a good point.
There are other teams apart from Ramsgate and Chichester, but
having the facilities that elevates your game to like. You said about it, I can't remember what we talked about, but you rate, I think it was Jay Beckford's performance, raising your game to suit the occasion.
Yeah.
I think that the facilities did as well. The better your facilities get, the better you play. Like,
motivates you more.
Yeah, all those off the pitch things do play a part. Like, some people may think it's silly. So when they talk about like how fans have a massive impact, and they do. Like all those little things, the quality of your pitch, the quality of your changing rooms, your bar afterwards, your food, your post-match care, all of those things help and play a role. So I think as the club progresses off the pitch, we'll progress on the pitch as well.
No, agreed. So yeah, it's a very exciting time here.
Very eloquent, wasn't it?
Very eloquent. It was lovely. I didn't mention it at the time, but when we transitioned into that little period of from the 3G before that, it was lovely work from you there.
Lovely little segue.
Yeah. It was that is the word I was looking for. Segue.
There we go.
Excellent. He's done it again.
Yeah. Classically media trained and classically media in training.
I think we've got one final sort of topic of conversation, one final sort of wrap-up segment. Let's maybe.
Yeah, we're on 37 minutes, so it's a bit of a bumper episode.
Wow.
This one.
Wow, we have chatted.
Yeah, so we're just going to wrap it up quickly with something I sort of surprise chat with earlier, just a little bit, some quick fire questions. We've written a couple of questions for each other.
Quick fire.
Mostly football and sport related.
Yes.
So I've written 3 for Jack, he's written 3 for me. We don't know what we've written for each other, so there's no prep.
Correct.
So they're just going to be off the cuff, quick fire answers. We're not going to talk ages for them. A couple of minutes in each one. Maybe not even that. So Jack, do you want to do one each and go backwards and forwards, or do you want to just do all 3 at once?
We can do one each, backwards and forwards.
Yeah, should we do that? Do you want to go first? Mugs away?
Yeah, sure. Which one do I start with? This is a good question. No, I've got it. Don't worry. I won't deliberate too long. Here it is. I'll start with the worst one, I would say, first.
Okay.
In your lifetime, live footballing memory, what I'm talking about now, what's your worst live footballing memory? This can be Burgess Hill, this can be Brighton, this can be a moment that you were at a game, an incident, whatever. What would you say, first thing that comes to mind, was one of the worst things you've seen or been involved with live at a football game?
Oh, that's a great one. I mean, just for recency bias, last season, so again, just a little bit about me. If you don't know, I work for American Express as a day job. I was lucky enough to secure tickets for the Amex Lounge at the Amex Stadium
going to the Amex.
For the Crystal Palace game. So I was super excited. Derby, we got smashed. The mood in the lounge wasn't great. Luckily, the beer was free in the Amex Lounge, so that helped.
Positives, see?
Yeah.
Focus on the positives here.
Yeah, recency bias, that's probably one of the worst ones for me lately. And even more recent, yesterday, saying Chelsea were going to get nowhere near the ball and then being proved epically wrong.
Yeah. Chelsea could
I do stand by it, though. PSG are a joke at how good at football they are.
Yes. But Chelsea are
just pretty good.
Yeah, there could be a bit of a problem which nobody wants to talk about, which is quite worrying.
And we still won't. Move on.
No. Move on.
Well, thanks for easing me in.
No worries.
So I've got an easy one to start you off with. Who's going to score the most goals for Hill this year?
Oh, Tom Chalais.
Tom Chalais.
I've backed Tom Chalais for God knows how many years. I've always been a huge fan of Tom Chalais. So if I'm the chairman of the
Jay Beckford fan club, you're the chairman of the Tom Chalais.
Yes,
cool.
I'll be chairman of the Tom Chalais fan club. I've liked him ever since he was fresh out of Worthing Academy from the age of 17, 18. He's had so many injury problems, bless him, but not injury problems where I'd call him injury prone. He gets injured the most random like just odd injuries. They're not like muscle strains. They're not like hamstring pulls where he's just he is an injury-prone player. He'll break his foot doing something ridiculous and then re-injure it again doing another ridiculous stunt. Like I think he's an unlucky, just generally unlucky bloke.
Yeah.
And then because you play football, then it sort of
Compounds
affects your
the issue
football.
a little bit, yeah.
No, I think if Tom Chalais can stay fit, which he is now, he's played in both pre-season games so far. He knows this league. I think a full season of Tom Chalais, he could be our starting number 9 and score upwards of 15 goals, I reckon.
Cool. I like it, yeah. I like that as well. Fair enough.
Nice. My second question, I've got a nice non-Burgess Hill related one to finish on, so I'll stick with Burgess Hill for now for my second one. So if I was to give you £10,000 right now for the right answer to this question, and you have to answer as honestly as possible, because if you get it right, there's £10,000 riding on this.
I need £10,000. My car's broken.
Where, as of right now, would you say your prediction would be for Burgess Hill finishing next season in terms of place in the league table?
Top 10.
But where specifically? What position?
Specifically?
What place? 1 to 24 in the league table. And if you get it right, then you win £10,000 at the end of the season.
Everyone heard that. Jack's giving me 10 grand if I get this right.
I owe him 10 grand if he gets this right. But
see,
honestly,
I said top 10, and now I'm going to give you a number that's not in the top 10.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Because honestly, where do you think?
I'm going to partly go because I don't think we're going to be one of those teams that go straight up, straight down.
No,
I don't.
Agreed.
I think we've got better minerals than that, better caliber.
Yeah.
So I think I'd love to be top 10, but because I'm going to sit on the fence so hard, and it's also my lucky number, I'm going to go right in the middle and go 12.
Yeah, fine. I like it. Yeah. I think we could easily finish 12. To be honest, I don't really know where we're going to finish. We could finish anywhere from just outside of relegation to 6th.
Yeah. I want this immortalised forever, by the way. If we finish 12th now, you can pay in instalments, mate.
I'm banging trouble if we finish 12th.
Yeah.
So, let's not do that, please. 11th or 13th?
No, not 13th.
11th.
I only had the one Hill question.
That's fine.
So this one's best away day food that you ever had. It can be Premier League, it can be Ishman.
Well, I'll do the first one that comes to my mind because I always say this. And it's not Premier League, it's Chatham.
Never been Chatham.
No.
Talk me through it. As a man who loves his food.
Oh, you will. See, it is Chatham and it was Chatham, but they have changed it in my recent visit. So when we went to Chatham, which was probably maybe 3 seasons ago now, it was one of the first days of the season. So it was in August. Weather was really, really nice. So the day was nice, but the food. So we get to the ground, and I think there's about 3 or 4 different food stalls there, different options, not just one burger and chips and everything. There's variety. We get to the other end of the ground, and there's this pop-up like Jamaican jerk chicken.
I've heard about this. It
was incredible. They had like reggae music like softly playing in their little van. It was just like proper authentic Jamaican
Levi root sauce.
Yeah, it was proper. Yeah, we couldn't believe it was just a random Chatham versus Burgess Hill Isthmian South East League game. It was 10 out of 10. We remember it. We always talk about it. Like so you've heard of it. That's what we talk about it.
I've heard it.
Unfortunately, we did go back to Chatham more recently last season, but this wasn't a Tuesday night, and they weren't there. So whether it was a Tuesday night, and this was in the Velocity Cup, so they might just not bothered for that competition, but. We'll have to see this season because we will be going back there.
We will.
They'll be one of the favourites as well for the league, Chatham. So it'll be quite a nice. The ground itself is quite a nice ground. So
when the fixtures come out on Thursday, I believe.
Oh yeah.
I'll pencil Chatham away.
No, I would thoroughly recommend.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, Chatham.
Your last one, I believe.
It's me. I was just sitting there thinking, what's next? And I've still got another question. So this is one I said to you off the podcast. This is my niche one that I think you're going to enjoy. Okay. You're a big golf fan, Lynden.
I am a golf fan.
You're a big golf fan.
That's such a tit now.
No. The Open's coming up.
It is, yeah.
It is. Who's your prediction
Tommy
to win?
Fleetwood.
Okay, I haven't finished the question. Wow.
Tommy Fleetwood.
Go on then, do a little bit of a...
Well, my wife fancies him.
Right, okay. That wasn't what I thought your answer was going to be to the why.
Oh, yeah, nothing to do with his golf ability. No, I think, I don't know if you know this, but he's never won on the PGA Tour. He's one of the wealthiest players to have never got a win on the PGA Tour. He's won on the DP World Tour.
I didn't know that, but I'm not a huge golf fan. But
he's won on the DP World Tour. He's not got a win on the PGA. Obviously, majors, not the PGA, or it's kind of a bit both, bit of everything. It's a major, but yeah, I back him. I think he came really close in the Rocket Mortgage Classic a couple of weeks ago. Came second, just fell at the last hurdle to fucking Keegan. Sorry, excuse my French. Keegan, I'll bleep that out. Keegan Bradley. Hi, it's Lynden here. Little note from the editing floor. I know I said the wrong golf tournament there. I meant the Travellers Championship, not the Rocket Mortgage Classic.
Apologies. On with the podcast.
So yeah, I think he's long overdue a big win. So this is embarrassing. I don't know. He's not got a major. So
Is he just one of those known like unlucky losers then? Like,
kind
he
of
plays really
yeah.
well, but will always come sort of second, third.
Yeah.
Just miss out sort of thing.
Yeah, he's a fantastic
fair to
golfer. Always rated him. I'm just checking now to make sure I didn't make a tit of myself that he's not won a major. No, he hasn't. He's not won a major. So here we go. His first major. He's come.
Now's the time.
He came
Tommy.
second in the Open in 2019. So
oh well, there we go.
Here we go. This is the time. So
He's
yeah,
come second.
I like that. Thanks.
That's all right. I told you. Come to my mind. Golf.
Yeah, love it.
Straight away. Right, third and final one for me.
So my last one's about you as a young sportsman.
Oh,
so
wow.
I believe you play cricket with mine, right?
Yes.
So in your sporting career, what's your best sporting moment or achievement that you've had personally?
Oh.
Don't say playing cricket with Martin because that goes straight to his head.
No. I won't. I did get Martin out when we
Oh,
played
that'd be
cricket
top
with
of this
him.
then, straight away.
So that was good. I have to caveat by saying Martin scored 100 that day. And I got him out after he smacked me around the park. But I did technically get him out. So I won't say that, though. I won't say that. Probably my best big-headed, but I'll go with it anyway. It's probably when I was scouted, very loosely termed, but when I was playing football when I was younger, at a tournament, and a scout from Portsmouth come up to me and my parents after the tournament and said that they'd like to invite me for trials at Portsmouth Football Club when I was a lot younger. So I had an 8-week trial at Portsmouth. That was very cool, travelling to the training ground.
What position did you play?
I was a striker back then. This was when I was like 9, 10.
Okay.
So a long time ago. But I think partly because I was always the biggest, like tallest in the class. So I would use that to my advantage.
I can see that. You're quite a tall man.
I was quite a way taller than everybody else, which helped.
The
back
Peter
then.
Crouch role.
Yeah. I was
Big man
filling the Peter Crouch role like you wouldn't believe. But no, I was pretty good when I was.
He played for Portsmouth,
younger.
didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Yes, ball knowledge.
It might have been the same time. They might have looked at Crouch and gone, "We need someone like
Another
you in
one
10
like
years. Let's scout these really lanky people at the tournaments."
That's the way forward.
But no, yeah, scouted there. It was really good. I didn't get in. I wasn't picked after the trial, so technically failed. But I really enjoyed it. It was a good experience. And yeah, to say I've been scouted by Portsmouth is pretty cool. So
nice, that is pretty cool.
So yeah, there you go. I don't know where it all went wrong, but that was the highlight of my career.
What year was this?
Oh,
Peter Crouch played for Portsmouth 2001, 2002. Oh, he played 2001, 2002, and he also played 2008 to 2009.
it wouldn't have been far away from the 08, 09. Maybe it was more like 09, 2010, but...
So they knew of him. They
Yeah.
knew of him. They recognised your potential.
They certainly did. Maybe that's where they're trying to mould me into a Peter Crouch. And who knows what could have happened if I got in.
Yeah.
But I didn't.
Ah. Well, I mean, we're almost on 50 minutes.
Good
so,
God.
sorry. If you've made it this far on the podcast, well done.
Nobody's made it this far.
Nobody's made it this far.
They know they have.
We're just
Someone
talking to
messaged me and go,
ourselves
I made it this far.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mum.
Yeah, thanks, not Jay.
Yeah.
Beckford.
No. Or Jay Lovett's turned it off by now.
Yeah,
He heard me say about Hayward Heath, but I'm not listening to this idiot again.
I mean, we're still waffling. I guess this kind of... Thanks for listening. Hopefully I did Cobo justice.
I think you did, yeah.
See you all at Horsham tomorrow, or
Yes.
today, potentially, when I release this.
Tuesday let's get the date, Tuesday the 15th of July will be Horsham away, our next pre-season game.
7:45 kickoff.
Love Horsham.
Tickets
Really,
available
really
online and on the door.
Yes, online. Burgess Hill game you can get by online.
What a time to be alive.
Wow.
Yeah.
There you
Don't
go.
buy a scalp ticket.
No. So, yeah, I'll see you there, I suppose. Everyone coming?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Excellent. Well, thanks for listening. Like Lynden said, really enjoyed this one, and we'll see you for the next one.
Take care, guys.